Jose Protasio Rizal Mercado y Alonso Reyalonda. That's a long name, right? Who is he? Do we really know everything about him? Let's find out!
Jose Protasio Rizal Mercado y Alonso Reyalonda was born in Calamba, Philippines, Laguna Province. He was baptized at the Catholic of Calamba by the parish priest Reverend Rufino Colliantes with Reverend Pedro Casañas. Jose Rizal was the seventh of the 11 children who had 9 sisters and 1 brother. Both his parents, Francisco Mercado Rizal and Teodora Alonso Reyalonda, were educated and belonged to distinguished families. They were leaseholders of a hacienda and an accompanying rice farm by the Dominicans. From an early age, Jose Rizal showed a precocious intellect. As a child, Rizal spent a lot of time in nature making careful observations that sparked his creativity. The first teacher of Rizal was his mother, who was a remarkable woman of good character and fine culture. On her lap, he learned the alphabet and prayers at the age 3, and could read and write poetry at age 5. She taught him values which he carried on until later in his life. When he was 4 years old, his sister Concepcion, the 8th child in the Rizal family, died at the age of 3. It was on this occasion that Rizal remembered having shed real tears for the first time. Later, his parents sought and paid for private tutors to teach the young Rizal Spanish and Latin. Rizal had his first early education studied under Justiniano Aquino Cruz in Biñan before he was sent to Manila. As to his father's request, he took the entrance examination in Colegio de San Juan de Letran, but the Dominican friars asked him to transfer to another school due to his radical and bold questions. When he was 11 years old, he enrolled at the Ateneo Municipal de Manila. He earned excellent marks in subjects like philosophy, physics, chemistry, and natural history, and graduated as one of the 9 students in his class declared sobresaliente or outstanding.
He enrolled in a course in medicine at the Universidad Central de Madrid in Spain. In June 1883, he traveled to France to observe how medicine was being practiced there. After his 3-month sojourn in France, Rizal returned to Madrid and thought about publishing a book that exposed the colonial relationship of Spain and the Philippines. This idea was realized in March 1887 with the publication of the novel in Germany. Rizal was actively involved in the propaganda movement composed of Filipinos in Spain who sought to direct the attention of Spaniards to the concerns of the Spanish colony in the Philippines.
Rizal returned in Manila in August 1887, after 5 years in Europe. However, his homecoming was met with a fire furor over No Limitangere. The Archbishop of Manila issued an order banning the possession and the reading of the novel, an order that was later reinforced with a Governor General.
6 months later, pressured by the Spanish authorities as well as by his family and friends to leave the country and avoid further persecution, Rizal left Manila for Hong Kong. From 1888 to 1890, he shuttled between London and Paris, where he wrote ethnographic and history-related studies, as well as political articles. He also frequently visited Spain, where he met with fellow Filipinos intellectuals like Marcelo H. del Pilar, Mariano Ponce, and Graciano Lopez.
In August, he was admitted to the British Museum, where he copied Antonio Morga's massive study of the Philippines, Sucesos de las Islas Filipinas, which later annotated for publication as a gift to the Filipinos.
two canonical 19th century novels, No Limitang Here, came from the Latin word Touch Me Not. It is an 1887 novel by Jose Rizal during the colonization of the Philippines by Spain to describe and perceive inequities of the Spanish Catholic friars and the ruling government. No Limitang Here revolves around Crisostomo Ibarra, who after a 7-year stay in Europe to study, comes home to his town of San Diego, brimming with the desire to contribute to the development of the townspeople. More specifically, as a reformist, he aims to make education accessible to more people. His idealism, however, cannot bear fruit because of insidious forces bent on destroying him. Ibarra learns that his father, Don Rafael, had been embroiled in a conflict with Padre Damaso, who eventually causes his humiliation and death. It is not only political power that the friars wields. He has also underpower to seduce the mother of Maria Clara, Ibarra's sweetheart. Ibarra has another enemy in the person of Padre Salvi, who lusts after Maria Clara. It is also Padre Salvi who almost causes Ibarra's death at the groundbreaking ceremonies for the school. Things come to a head when Ibarra is implicated in a failed uprising instigated by Padre Salvi. The young man is imprisoned but is eventually rescued by Elias, whose life Ibarra has saved in the past. As the novel ends, the thoroughly disillusioned Ibarra sees a bleak future.
El Filibusterismo, The Subversive is the second novel by Jose Rizal, 1861 to 1896, National Heroes of the Philippines. Like its predecessor, the better-known No Limitang Here, the Philly was written in Castilian while Rizal was traveling and studying in Europe. It was published in Gent in 1891 and later translated into English, German, French, Japanese, Tagalog, Ilonggo, and other languages. A nationalist novel by an author who has been called the first Filipino, its nature as a social document of the late 19th century Philippines is often emphasized. For many years, copies of the Philly were smuggled into the Philippines after it was condemned as subversive by the Spanish authorities.
Rizals Attraction. The following primary sources are two kinds. First, the first two are the official accounts as witnessed by the Jesuits who were instrumental in the alleged retraction. The other two are critical analysis by two Rizalist scholars who doubted the story of retraction. The statement of Father Vicente Balaguer, he was one of the Jesuit priests visited Rizal during his last hour in Fort Santiago. He claimed that he managed to persuade Rizal to denounce Masonry and return to the Catholic fold. In affidavit executed in 1917, he also claimed that he was one who solemnized the marriage of Josephine and Jose Rizal. A statement of Father Fio. He was the Jesuit superior in the Philippines during the time when Rizal was executed. In 1917, he issued an affidavit recounting his involvement in the alleged retraction. He was involved only in securing the retraction document from the Archbishop of Manila, Bernardo Nozaleda. He wrote another shorter retraction document as well, which has the one Rizal allegedly copied. The critical analysis of Rafael Palma, a writer including the written work entitled Biografia de Rizal, which won a literary contest in 1938.
I love you, mahal kita, Ashtimas, Jetaime. Imagine how lovable Jose Rizal is that he actually went overseas to find love. But the interesting part is, it is not just one or two, nor three. Given his charms and appeal, Jose Rizal is considered our hero heartthrob with 9 girlfriends in total.
Segunda Katigbak, year 1877, Rizal's age 17 years old.
Leonor Valenzuela, year 1878. Leonor, also known by her nickname Orang, he was 14 years old.
Leonor Rivera, year 1878 to 1890, Rizal's age 17 to 29 years old.
The girl is 18 years old. Consuelo Ortiga E. Rey. Year, 1884.
Seiko Osuyi. Year 1888. Results age 27 years old.
Gertrude Beckett. Year, 1888.
Suzanne Jacoby. Year 1890. Results age 28 years old.
Nellie Boosted. Year, 1891.
Pepe had a child with Bracken, but the child died at birth. Rizal named his son Francisco.
Jealous? Don't be. Jose Rizal actually showed that we can catch hearts with wit, knowledge, and charisma.
Ang bayan ko'y tanging ikaw. Pilipinas mong mahal.
Rizal is truly wonderful radio. Aside